Jess, if you would, your thoughts on the match.
Yeah, super tough match today. Obviously, I would love to be in a third set right now, but I guess relatively speaking, happy that I was able to at least give my chances to win a set, considering, I was down in the first and in the second. So was able to find some good tennis, just wasn't quite able to sustain it. And yeah, congrats to her. I think she played some big tennis and some big moments.
Thank you. Name and affiliation, one question each.
Ed McGrogan, tennis.com. The Iga match, the Mukova match, this match, all within like 72 hours. Like, have you had a chance to kind of even take that all in? Just these were just one after the other.
Probably not, because I'm just annoyed that I lost right now. And everyone's like, oh, congrats, amazing tournament. And I'm like, like whatever. So I think maybe once I decompress a little bit, I'm sure I will be a little bit more appreciative and see all of that at some point. I should probably do that at some point, but yeah, it's been kind of a crazy couple days. So hopefully I'll get some time after this to kind of just relax and just look back at what I've been able to do the last month.
Reem.
Just Rima Boulay from the National. Congrats on a great tournament. Sometimes tennis can be so repetitive, especially if you've been around for a while. You got to experience new things, that kind of atmosphere in a final where you're the home player. Are you able to appreciate that? And during the match, were you able to take that in a little bit, or were you just locked in?
Yeah, I mean, it was so loud when we walked out. I think with the roof being closed, it felt even louder. So it was a really cool atmosphere, really cool experience. And obviously I was trying to, at some points, take it all in, but at the same time, try and focus on the match in front of me. But there was definitely a couple moments where, I tried to, not rush and kind of stop myself a little bit and be able to, appreciate that crowd noise, because it was definitely super, super loud. And then on the changeover, I'm always looking up and I see all the celebrities. It's kind of hard not to, because it's literally like right in front of us. But I was like, wow, there's definitely a lot of people here. So I thought that was pretty cool and pretty amazing that I, got to play in front of them.
Charlie.
Hey, just Charlie Eccleshare from The Athletic. I know you've spoken about, kind of having had a bit of time off this year and the benefits. I just wondered, did you feel physically different this year compared to other years? Did you feel fresher and mentally as well, I guess?
Beginning of the year, I would say I was burnt out. And then I think coming into this swing, I do feel fresher. I think my usually US Open, I'm like everything's kind of falling apart. I think a lot of girls are like that. I feel like the doctors and the physios are very busy here. But actually this year I felt a lot better. And I think with the amount of matches I've actually played since Paris, just with the travel and the schedule, I've actually felt pretty good. So I think that's a really good sign of my fitness and just kind of getting back to normal than what I felt this year. I think just my immune system, like a lot of things are just a lot better. And I feel like I'm in good shape now. So I would say better this year, maybe compared to last year. But if we're talking about beginning of the year, I would say no. But, I think I've reset a little bit since then.
Brian
Lewis. Following up on that question, I mean, obviously, 2022, you were third and maybe in some ways more consistent throughout the year. But would you agree with the assessment that you're 30, this is the best tennis that you have played, the level that you're at? If you do agree with that assessment, why so? And are those things that you feel you can carry on going forward next year and continue to improve?
I mean, honestly, I really don't think I'm playing that much better than I was last year or other previous years. I feel like there's moments where I've played actually better. I think I've said before, my movement and my serve, I think, has gotten a little bit better. So I think there's certain parts that maybe are a little bit more consistent than they used to be. Maybe not today. I don't think I'm sure there's other days where maybe I've served better, but I think as far as like a baseline, it's not as much as up and down throughout the weeks and through matches. And I would say the same for my movement. So I think those things have improved a little bit. So I don't know if I would say I'm playing better. Does the ball feel, am I seeing it like a watermelon every single day? Not quite, but I think with those other things, maybe that's why it may seem like I'm playing, my best tennis, but I really think it's just more working on a couple little things that maybe weren't my strengths that have, been a little bit better consistently.
Just Tim Alshai, Buffalo News. If I heard you correctly in the post match interview, you had a pretty big contingent of family here. I think you said both your parents. I know you typically have a pretty small group. What was it like to be out there with, with that kind of like personal support?
Yeah, it was really cool. I had a lot of friends that were just like, I'm flying in, and when I'm coming, I don't care. I'm going to get off work and all this stuff. And I thought that was really cool because I feel like, in a way, not just my journey, but my friends and family have been on this journey with me as well. My family, obviously, but even like some really close friends who, we've sacrificed a lot of, or who have even played a little bit with me when I was younger, but have sacrificed a lot of things that we don't really get to do together. And they know how it is, and they've either played or they understand by now that we don't live a normal life. So I think for them it was really fun too, with how many maybe things I've had to miss for them to kind of come in and see this is why. I think that's really cool, and almost in a way like they've kind of earned that too. So I think it was really fun. And my family, yes, of course, but for my friends to kind of fly in is really nice. So hopefully I get to see them tonight.
Okay. David, Matt, Court. David.
Hi, Jess. David Kane, tennis.com. You said before the semifinals you were feeling a little bit loose, but today you started pretty well, so I'm curious what the nerves were like heading into the day and what it was like getting to speak with Steph Curry before the match started.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, today I actually felt really good, and I wasn't really that nervous. I just felt like I was ready to go, and it was a fun atmosphere. Obviously, it maybe changes once you're in the match, but I didn't feel flat. I didn't feel nervous. I actually felt really good. So I thought that was a good sign. I thought I handled the moment more or less pretty well, besides obviously not winning. But as far as everything else, I think I did a good job. And yeah, being able to talk to Steph, that was really cool. I met him kind of briefly at the Olympics during the opening ceremony, and we traded pins. But yeah, it was cool for him to come out. I guess he's really wants to kind of keep supporting women's sports and get really into it. So it was really fun to meet him and also his wife. And funny story, my husband, he like his iPhone name is Steph Curry because he loves Steph Curry. So like if you connect to Bluetooth or like send him something or airdrop, it's Steph Curry's iPhone. And I kind of left early, and he texted me and he was so excited. He didn't like want to say anything. And I was like, please tell me you did not tell him about the iPhone thing. And he's like, oh yeah, I did. So I thought that was really cute. And he's like, no, he loved it. And I was like, did he? Or did he really think you were kind of crazy? But I guess he thought it was pretty funny, and he was like, oh, you got to show my wife that. So that was kind of a cool moment for him because he's like a diehard Steph Curry fan. And I think actually first watched him at an NCAA tournament in Buffalo. So he always says he's an OG fan. So that was really cool.
Matt.
Hey Jessica, Matt Butterman, The Athletic. You have talked in the past about sort of like your incremental progress and what it's done to your confidence, like winning at 250, winning 500. Does this 2 weeks in this and getting to this final, do you think this fits into like one of those, this is enough to get you into sort of one of those categories of something that builds confidence for you or additional confidence?
If I can't take confidence from this, there's got to be something wrong. So, I think I've taken confidence from winning a 250, from winning a 1,000, from being able to win another 1,000, multiple ones now, and then to be able to be a Grand Slam finalist. I think that was kind of the last thing for me, right? Was I made a lot of quarterfinals, but can I make a semi? Can I be a contender to actually win a Grand Slam? And looking back, I've lost to really good player. I lost to girls that pretty much won the tournament every time. So I know my level was right there. And I think maybe I handled the moment a little bit better this year, like I said before, with just having maybe a different perspective of, I had a rough start to the year and I didn't really expect to be doing this well in the hard court swing. And I was able to kind of flip that script. And so I think when I came into here, it was almost less pressure kind of in a way because I was just happy I was in another quarterfinal. I didn't, my slam record this year was not great. So I think maybe that perspective maybe helped me through that moment. And then I was able to obviously have a great match in the semi, come from behind there, and put myself in a chance to win a Grand Slam. So I think for sure I will take a lot of confidence from this in maybe like an hour or two, because like I said, I'm just kind of annoyed that, not even annoyed of losing the tournament. I think it's more just like I was looking at it like I just wanted to win the match, and now there's like things that are just in my head that like I feel like I should have done better and stuff like that. But like I said, I think that'll pass in a little bit.
Court, final question.
Jess, you've always been very clear-eyed and straightforward in terms of how you describe the players who are ranked before you, like Iga, Arena, like just their games and what they kind of represent amongst the competitive elite of the sport. I'm curious what you think you represent within kind of that
That's a
echelon.
good question. I don't really know. What do you guys think I represent? What are some adjectives? I mean, I think what people tell me is I always kind of have like a quiet confidence. I'm pretty calm. I feel like I'm good at, I don't know, I'm very aware. I just have a lot of awareness and perspective. I think of what my journey and, you know, what that journey has been like and what it's been for me. And so I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm just the one that sees things in perspective, that sees things a little bit differently. Obviously, my family is a little bit different as well. And I think I have a good kind of sense of where that kind of fits into my life and what it's going to be after tennis and all these other things. So what's always helped me, I think, as I've gotten, you know, higher ranked and become a better player is just keeping that perspective. And that's helped me a lot to become a better player. Just having that awareness and perspective of like what tennis is for me. So I don't know if that helps, but I don't know.
Thank you, everyone.